Hello, Reborners. My name is Karen, and this is Making Reborn Dolls with Karen. Today we're going to mix some paint. We're going to mix several colors. I should have gotten them out already, but I didn't. I'm totally unprepared. So I'm going to get out some paint colors first thing. Let me move some of these heads out of the way. I have a shelf up here over my table that can hold a lot of things, but it's full of a lot of things. One thing I'm going to do is, I hope I have some thinning medium. Oh, I do. No, that's matte. I don't think I have any thinning medium. Oh, this is a tragedy. I wanted to make some thinning medium with paint in it for... Oh, that is not good. For the people who won my contest, I don't know. Let me find one of these that's opened already. Totally not opened. And this is Genesis paint. Genesis. I dispensed, now that's Gemini. I dispensed with using the Genesis because I wanted to get started on using the Gemini, and I have all these Genesis paints. I think I'm going to send some of these Genesis paints to the people who won my won my contest too. Let's see what we got in the yellows up here. Raw sienna. I like raw sienna is my favorite color of yellow. And I don't use much yellow anymore. In fact, I practically never use it. And the same thing with the vein blue. I hardly use any of it. But I do use it still. I'm just going to lay out these little trays. I'll put them back up later. Here's some reds. I may send some of them to some of the... That's Lip Nail Blush, and this one is Pyro Red number 2. I don't think I've used that Pyro Red, so I don't know how it comes out. And this is Warm Blush. What's in this one? Probably Creases. Yeah, it is. I'm going to send these creases to the people who won my videos too. Won my thing, whatever you call it. Let's see, Flesh Colors. I thought I just went through fresh. Oh, these are umbers and other darknesses of colors, like 03 and 04 and stuff. I'll let those out as well. These say varnish, but Look Alive, Nail Tip, Quinadrine, I don't know how you say that word, Ethnic Lip Nail and Blush. I'm just laying all these out because I'm probably going to use some of them. Let's see, what's in this one now? Oh, empty jars. Yep, these are empty jars. I can use those to make some paint for the winners. Titanium White, Mars Black, and Ethnic Blush. Ethnic Lip Nail Blush. Okay. I just have them willy-nilly in these little... Because a lot of the colors wouldn't fit in the drawers, and so I just sort of put them in any old drawer. I don't know. So anyway... Okay, we're going to mix some paint now. I'm going to start with 05. I actually despise mixing paint. I just really want to paint the dolls. I wish I had a helper that could do all the other side things for me. We are going to be using some Exodus oil. This is very, very valuable. You get it from McPherson's. I think that's the only place that has it. They're a Canadian company. And in the past, I don't know, since Trump passed all those tariffs and for buying from overseas, I don't know if you have to pay some weird import tax or tariff or custom fees. I don't know. But this comes from Canada. But they are very, very fast usually with shipping. I've heard people say they're slow on shipping their dolls, but they're really fast on shipping this. I mean, I can order it today on Monday and have it by Thursday, just like you would from any other company in the United States. They just get it out real fast. But this is very, very valuable. I believe this bottle right here costs $30. I'm not sure exactly, but I've been using it forever. I fill up this little squirt bottle. This was a bottle of Eileen's Paper Glaze that I cleaned real good. I just took it to the sink and washed it really, really good. Eileen's Paper Glaze usually washes right out. It washed completely clean. And Eileen's Paper Glaze will wash right out if you wash it immediately. What I do is I don't use my Eileen's Paper Glaze right out of this bottle. It's too thick. It's too tall. And when you stick your paintbrush down in there, you can't tell if you're getting any. So you end up sticking it too far and getting it all over up on the handle and everything. And I don't like that. So I pour my Eileen's Paper Glaze into a jar. And it says clear glue on it. And I don't pour any more in there until that's completely gone, because if you don't, you're just getting thick, thick, thick stuff all the time on the bottom of your jar. It gets thicker and thicker the longer you use it. I'm filling this up for our paint mix, and so we'll have plenty of it. We are no doubt going to make a mess mixing paint. I've never not made a mess mixing paint. Ooh, that's way too full. Ugh. I tend to do that too, make them way too full. My general rule for mixing paint is try to mix half a jar. That way, if you need to tweak it a little, like put more paint thinner in, you got room to do it. Otherwise, you're going to be going, well, I got to pour some of this in another jar so I can dilute it some more. Okay, I'm going to be mixing some blue, even though there's nothing wrong with this vein blue. I did buy some, well, I'm going to find it in a minute. It's aquamarine blue. I don't usually use aquamarine blue. I mean, I have ever used it, but let me put the top back on this Exodus oil. There we go. But it's not like my go-to blue or anything like that. I tend to use, that's flesh. This is an empty jar. This is an empty jar. No, that's nail tip, I think. Yeah, nail tip. So what did I do with that blue? Did I put it somewhere over here? Because I don't see it anywhere. Well, that just beats it. I don't know what I did with it. I thought it was just laying over here at the side with my other paint. I've lost my aquamarine blue. I'm going to start whining. We're going to be using this paint thinner to mix colors. I'm going to show you that it doesn't matter because you're going to pour it in your paint anyway. I have these empty jars that we're going to mix some paint in. They say thinning, medium, and matte varnish on them, but it doesn't matter because we're just going to use them for mixing paint. They have residue, tiny little bits of residue in them, which won't hurt anything because you can actually put these mediums in your colors. I'm going to be mixing some vein blue, but if I can find my aquamarine blue, we're going to mix that as well. Oh, this is it. I can't even read. This is aquamarine blue compared to, where did I put that vein blue? This must be it. Vein blue. See the difference in the color? This is a teal color almost, and this is a bluer color. I don't know. But one's meant to look like what your veins look like under your skin, and this one's just blue. But when I have to mix blue into my red to get it a little more or less pink, I want to use something that's not vein blue. Vein blue is not the right color to me. I don't know why I don't like it, but I don't like it. I'm going to be mixing some yellow ochre, even though I'm probably not going to be using it very much. This is very, very settled to the bottom because I don't use it very much anymore. I probably don't need to mix any, so maybe I won't. But oh, I just don't know. I do use the vein blue because I use it for putting the blue on the forehead and putting it on the bottoms of the feet. But I mostly just dip my brush in it to keep it, you know, refreshed. So we're gonna let's mix our vein blue first. The very first thing you're gonna wanna do when you're mixing paint is you're gonna want to mix it up. It's probably settled to the bottom and all the oil is up on the top. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, you can see a gooey, oily residue on top of the paint. Look how dark that is. And so I like to mix it up. And plus, if part of it's really creamy and the other part's a little bit thick, you're making it all the same consistency too. And once it's nice and mixed up, I would like to be mixing it in an empty jar. But I'm not throwing this paint away, and I don't want to mess up another jar with blue and have to wash it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I'm going, see, it's messy to mix paint. This jar is super gunky. I'll tell you what I might be doing is changing jars. Ick. I don't know if I can clean this jar, but I will try. I probably won't try to clean that lid, so I am going to mix in another jar. I have plenty of jars, I can tell you that. Oh, that one's got brown in it. I don't want to clean it out. I'm just going to get another jar down. Oh, I think I put them up high. I did. But never fear, I can reach them. Now you can label your jars. I usually just write on them with a magic marker. But over time, touching them over and over again, you'll have a residue of paint thinner on your hands or something, and it will eventually rub off the name of your paint on there. So that's why some of mine have stickers on them. My son got a one of them label making machines, and I put it to use. I labeled everything in my entire store, in my entire shop, I mean. And, well, I don't live there anymore, so I can't use his thing anymore. So anyway, we're going to start with our Exodus oil. I don't measure it or anything like that. I just put me a nice hefty little squirt in there. It covers the bottom with a skim. A little more than a skim, I guess. To me, it's valuable enough to use liberally because what we're trying to do here is melt our paint. The paint is gooey like this. Can you see that? It's super just a blob. And so what we're going to do is we're going to put a blob in our jar. A pretty big blob like that. And it is on a toothpick, so I am trying to get it off of the toothpick. Sometimes I just let the toothpick dangle in there like that because I don't want to waste any of the paint. So then I'll just brush it off with one of these brushes, getting it wet in the Exodus oil over and over again until I get 90% or 90 or more off of it. And I just keep on mixing the paint in the Exodus oil, and it will turn into a nice blue liquid. It's very thick still, but what we're trying to do is not see any of those little granules. It looks like pepper, kind of. Of course, it's not black, it's blue, but it's like if you peppered your food and you look at it and you can see the pepper on top. It's kind of looks, those granules kind of look like that. They're a little bit smaller than pepper, but that's what it kind of reminds me of. And so we're trying to get rid of all of those. And the best way to do it is just mix it around in your Exodus oil as much as you can. Just take your time and mix it around. And when you get to the point where it's either not doing any good or you've got like, let's say 99 point something, a little bit over 99% of them are dissolved, then you're ready to put your next thing in. And the next thing we're going to put in is going to be thinning medium. Thinning medium also does almost, not exactly the same thing as the Exodus oil, but it does one thing Exodus oil does not do. And it provides, I'm just going to use Bountiful Baby's description. They call it paint with no color. So it provides a thicker consistency without making your paint super thick and dark. So, ow, where did I put it now? I put it in one of these little organizing things. This is what happens when you don't know where you put your stuff, because you just started putting it in stuff. Oh yeah, whoever won my contest is going to get some of these little magnetic baby bottles too that I made. My niece had a baby, and she was using those little, you know, those little hospital bottles they give to babies. They look like this. Let me just show you. They just look like little Similac bottles, and they have a lid that's actually metal on them, so that metal will kind of, you can't just stick it to the baby's mouth and just leave it stuck there. You would have to hold it, but at least it sticks to the baby's mouth. And if you propped, oh, that's just bodies. If you propped it, it might would, I think I might have put them up here. Ah, yes. That's where I put them. And they're going fast. They had that 40% off sale, and these were on it. Not the one I just mentioned, but the one I mentioned a couple of videos ago. When every Gemini product was 40% off, because they were having a site-wide 40% off. And I bought 4 jars of this. And why I only bought 3 jars of matte varnish, I don't know. Why didn't I get 4 of them as well? These are usually $59. So 60 bucks for that. But it's a lot of thinning medium. But they were $35. So see, that's what you get when you you watch for those sales. Now I've got the consistency of this paint is almost like it's watery. It's not watery colored, but it runs freely across the jar bottom. It's not a glob anymore. But now I'm going to add some of this thinning medium, because like I said, it's adding something that is I don't know that it's really equal to paint. I don't know that. That's what Bountiful Baby says, but you know, you just have to kind of judge for yourself if you really think that's true. That's what they say it is, though. But it's way runny, in my opinion, compared to the paint. You saw how globby the paint was. Now look at this. This just runs right off of your stick. So it's not the same consistency at all. But I'm going to put a couple of blobs of this in here. Kind of let it just run off the stick like that. And it's going to help a lot with also dissolving our paint, which is something we want to do. You've got to be careful setting open containers on your table. You'll reach over them and you'll spill them. You're not a real Reborn artist. You've spilled a whole entire jar of paint. Okay, now after we mix this up, see, the color didn't get any lighter at all. So it does do that. It gives you that little bit of something. I don't really know what you'd call it, but it doesn't take away your color in your paint. Now we're going to be adding our regular paint thinner. And we're going to do that in stages. We're just going to put some, and we're going to mix it up and see. We don't need a lot of this blue because I don't use very much of it. But when I get it right, and we're there right now, that looks right to me. I usually test it on the table. I'm going to just pour this in with it. So I'm going to get rid of this blue toothpick. Oh, I still have shelves laying everywhere. There's one back there laying on my... I'm going to put this blue in there with it. And I'm just going to put this jar aside to wash. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm going to do it later. Put it right over here. And now we have a new jar of blue. And it's a very good color. when you test it on your table, on your paper towel, you're looking to see how quickly does the paint thinner spread out, and what color's left behind when you do that. And you get used to the way your color looks from just spilling paint on your table. See all these little spots where I've spilled paint of different colors all over the table while I was working on my dolls? Now when I start to mix my warm blush, I already have some on the table that tells me what color it is. And that's the color you want to try to stay with, especially if you liked it a really lot. Now this brush can be used again if I can get all the paint out of it. Let's see. Does it leave any blue behind? No, it doesn't. So I got all the paint out of it. So now we have a little bit more blue. That's about all I'm going to need for a long, long time. Because like I said, all I really do with it is just dip my brush in it. I don't really use it wet unless I don't have any other alternative. Now when it comes to reds, red is a hard color to mix because it is very touchy because it's not the right color. I want to try to make, I want to try to make, there's one jar. I've tried to reconstitute all these jars of Genesis paint. Here's one I did reconstitute that I thought was the most excellent color. And because they got very gunky and dry. And instead of fixing them at the moment when they first started getting dry, I just put them aside and started a new jar because, well, I had plenty of Genesis Lip Nail Blush was just perfect. I had plenty of it. But then over time, I used it all up, and these just got harder and harder. And so, well, I don't know. Sorry, I'm just over the top thirsty. So anyway, I mixed this jar, and it's pretty good. I'm going to save it. But what I want to do is, I want to try to mix a jar that I can send to the people who I'm sending the boxes to. I'm going to get a couple of these empty thinning medium bottles, because that's what you mix it into anyways, thinning medium. It has a little residue in it, you can see. But we need a lot more thinning medium in there than what's in there now. So I'm going to be trying to drizzle some of this in there and mix them one of these. I've been using this for probably more than a year. And it's been good the whole time. It's excellent, excellent for doing lips and nails. So what I do is it's just thinning medium and paint. So here we go. We're going to put this thinning medium in here. And then I'm going to put some paint from this jar in here. And I'm going to try my level best to get the right color in here. It's already a little bit cut with some what you call glazing gel. It says glaze on it, so that means it was glazing gel. Bountiful Baby used to sell this stuff. Oh, crap. Oh, I'm going to ruin everything I have. I have quite a number of these really nice Carhartt sweatshirts because they're thicker and better than the other kind. They really keep you warm. And this is the medium weight one. The one that's heavyweight has Carhartt going down the arm. And I couldn't find any of those. There's a store here in town that sells Carhartt merchandise. And I always get the Carhartt coveralls for my son because he says they're better too. They last longer, they're thicker, and they just keep you warmer. So when I go there to get his coveralls, I always look at the sweatshirts and usually all they have is like an orange, like a blue and a green and a black. And I'm not too much into anything but blue, so I have several blue sweatshirts like this. And I've just been getting paint on my clothes here lately very, very terribly. Okay, let's see what this is going to do to this. I'm going to try to mix it with a toothpick. And then I'm going to paint it on, I guess, my test kit and see how it looks. I'll be able to tell if the color's right and all that by the way it paints onto my test kit. I'm very, very used to, I'll just do pearl. I'm very, very used to putting it onto my, putting this paint on, so I know if it's going to be the right color. Oh, that's very good. Very good. I'm going to wipe it off immediately so I don't have to strip her again. I just don't use my test kit enough to want to strip it that many times. That is a very good color. So that one is going to go to one of the people. I already have my 2 people, and they already know they're the 2 people. So if they're watching this video, they know they're going to get this. That is very good color right there. So I'm going to do another one. This actually has thinning medium already in it. Okay, I'll just put some color in it. I guess I put it up like that. I don't know. I don't buy it in these little jars anymore. I used to. And as soon as I found out they had the bigger jars, I started buying it in the bigger jars. Okay, let's see how... This one has more in it, so I had to put more color in it. That looks really, really good. I may mix them together and then pour them evenly into the jars because, I don't know, I want the color to be consistent throughout all of it. And I want both of them to get about the same amount. That's almost a whole jar right there. Ooh, I'm almost greedy enough to keep it. But I can't do that. That looks just about even right there. Okay, put that down. I'm gonna wipe off the rims here so I can put the lid on cleanly. Screw it on really, really tight. And I'll tell them in a message or something. They messaged me already on my Facebook account. So I told them to send me their names and addresses because they're the winners. Anyway, there's one for each of them. I'm gonna put that somewhere, put it right there for right now. And now I'm gonna make one for me. I want an extra. I got me a jar especially for it. It's bigger. It's gonna hold more. So yes, I'm going to like that very much. This one is fine, but it's half the size of that one. That's a 1/2 ounce. This is a 1 ounce. I bought this jar. I don't know why. It doesn't need to be pristinely clean like that, but I don't know. This is taking too long. I'm going to pour it. I may be sorry I poured it, but I'm going to pour it. Got to leave a little headroom for your paint. Otherwise, you're counterproductive. Now I'm going to try to get every bit of this paint in there. I don't know how much I can get in there, but I'm trying. I need every bit of color I can get in there to make this color correct. It took me a long time to reconstitute this. I had to break it apart first. It was hard as a rock. I swear, hard as a rock. I thought that I'll never use that. It will never reconstitute. And so what I did was I took one of these sticks and just poked it and poked it and poked it and broke it into pieces. And then I put some either thinning medium or Exodus oil. I don't know which one I put in there to sort of reconstitute it, because it was so super, super hard and dry that it just wasn't going to work. And then after I did that, I just let it sit on a shelf. And then every now and then I'd get it down and mix it and put it back up there. And it's been months since I've been trying to reconstitute this. And finally, it liquefied. It's like that Exodus oil will break it down some kind of way. It'll make it more creamy, I guess is what I'm looking for here. This is a messy job mixing paint. And if you think it's not, just start mixing some paint. I don't even know when I'll start using this. Because like I said, I still have plenty, oh plenty in that other jar. I'm going to try this on her lips now. I don't know why I put her back up so quickly. Okay, let's see. It's probably too light. I think it's too light. It's not too light. It still works. But it's very light. It's not as thick and creamy and dark as the other one. I might mix them together and form a new animal here. Depending on how dark I can actually get it. I'm sopping up the rest of it with this paintbrush because it does hold a little more paint than a stick will. The stick is better for scraping, but the paintbrush is better for sopping it up. So I don't know. But this is a very, very valuable color. That's why I'm doing all this work to get it into this jar, because this jar could last me 2 years maybe. And I make a lot of dolls. Somebody posted on one of the doll sites, about how many dolls do y'all make a year? And I put down 100, and everybody started putting one of them emojis where the happy face guy looks really surprised. And I go, well, I have 80 something in my well, I have more than 80 because some of them are in my collection. But I have 80 something, 83 or something like that up for sale right now. So I mean, come on. I made them all this year because last year's dolls, I sold them all off. After Christmas, I just sold them off because, well, some of them were practice kits and stuff like that. So, okay, I'm going to mix this up really, really good. And I'm going to try it on her lips again. Yes, I'm making a royal mess. I make lots of royal messes. That looks waterier than it did before. I don't know. I think it needs more color myself. I'm inclined to mix them together now. I'm just afraid I'll mess up what I already have. I can never leave well enough alone. That's one thing I need to figure out how to do. Start leaving well enough alone. It's good enough, leave it alone, you know. Well, I can't get this out. I need a swab to clean the rest of her mouth. Don't want to have to strip her later, so I'm cleaning it off best I can. There we go. Okay. Yes, it's very runny. It's because it already had glazing gel in it, and then it has now also thinning medium in it. Trying to figure out what I want to do here about it. Don't know. I don't know what I want to do. I do know I want to continue to mix it a little bit more to make sure it is thoroughly, thoroughly mixed. It is that rich, deep, bloody red color that I like, and I didn't have to add anything to it. I just wonder if I can get any more out of here that's actually usable. There's thick, thick stuff on the sides. Perhaps I can use that. The more color we put in there, the better it's going to be, because it's way too runny. And I don't mean runny consistency, I mean runny color. It looks too translucent. It looks like it doesn't have any substance to it, really. So yeah, I'm going to get some of this off the sides. One of the things I'll have to remember to do when I'm using it is make sure I'm not getting blobs on my paintbrush instead of just little pieces, and mix it every time I get ready to start using it. I think the thinning medium will go on and break it down over time inside this jar, and I'm not ready to start using it yet because I still have some in the other jar. I'm just afraid I'll ruin it if I try to mix them together. I'm very well known for making mistakes like that because I just can't leave well enough alone. That one's perfect. I don't want to mess with it, so I'm doing this instead. Trying to get more color, more color, more color in there. I wish I had 100 jars of Genesis lip nail blush. I wish there was somebody who didn't want their Genesis lip nail blush and they wanted to get rid of it. I tried to get, Bountiful Baby had this thing one time. It was called a paint roundup. You could send in any kind of paint and they would give you credit, some kind of credit off on some Genesis paint. I mean, Gemini paint. And I sent them an email. They just, if they don't want to answer it, they just don't answer it. And they didn't answer this one. I said, oh, y'all just had that paint roundup. Did you get any Genesis lip nail blush? I'll buy it from you. No response. I messaged them again. I'd really like to know what you're going to do with all that paint. No response. Is that a gnat or a fly? Something's flying in my face. Anyway, I sent a third email. Please tell me what y'all did with all the paint you got in the paint roundup. I'd like to purchase the Genesis. I really, really need the lip nail blush. No response. Okay, they're not going to respond. Okay. So I finally gave up. So that's what they do. They don't respond if they don't want to answer your question. They don't want to give it to you or something. So they just don't respond. Now when my other paint starts to get much, much lower than this, I may pour part of this in with that to sort of give it a little vamp. This still seems a little bit light to me. It's not that it won't work. I'll just have to put more coats on is what I'll have to do. I'd like it to be thicker, but I just don't know how much more of this thick stuff I can get out of here and feasibly use and it be not bad, you know. It's just very up in the air if this is even going to work. To me it is anyway. I mean, I can siphon out some color and use it. Don't get me wrong. But some of it might be globby and you might get a glob on your brush and have to take it off. You know, stuff like that. I have worked around granules and everything. There's no problem you can't solve, really, if you really want to solve the problem. Sometimes they're not worth it. You just throw it out, but I'm going to throw this whole jar away. It's just too gunky to clean. That's what I meant by a jar you don't want to clean. You'll spend more on the paint thinner to clean it than you would on another jar. And you can get 12 jars for around 13 something, almost $14. So that makes them a little over $1 each. The Dollar Tree actually has them for $1.25, but that's more expensive than buying them in the 12 pack to me. And believe me, you might not use it immediately, but you will use 12 jars. And the bigger ones, they're a little bit more. They're about $14 or $15. Now I have me a whole new jar of this that I can use later. Oh, don't turn that over. See, that's how you turn your paint over. Reaching over it. Okay, now I'm going to mix some of the warm blush because I used up all my 05 that was in my spare jars. My 05 jar is full and my warm blush jar is full. Ugh. But I'm going to make new of these colors because I like to have paint on hand, and when I'm mixing paint and making a mess, it's a great time to mix paint. More paint. All the paint you need. Because you don't want to do this again for a while. So this one's going to have warm blush in it, and then we'll get to this one later. I'm going to first put the Exodus oil again. I just squeeze a hefty amount in there. You want to at least cover the bottom of the jar with it. Some people put 2 or 3 drops in. I don't think that's enough to do any good. It doesn't melt your paint. It doesn't give you that nice finish you want on your doll. I'm just not... now, while I'm stingy with a lot of things, I am not stingy with my... okay, where did I put the warm blush? Okay, here it is. I have 3 jars. One of them at least must be open already. I'm not stingy with my Exodus oil, is what I was going to say. Totally not open. I can tell there's a seal on it, and it makes the cap a little bit harder to get off. This one, not open as well. Don't tell me I've used all my open ones. Well, I won't tell myself that, but I've used all my open ones. So I'm going to be opening a new one. These are brand new, so they should be really creamy and good. That doesn't mean they will. Like I said in another video, sometimes the company has them for a long enough period of time that they stop being creamy. And as long as I've been holding these, it would be too late to send them back. We really should check our merchandise when we first get it in. But that requires breaking all your seals, which is, it's creamy. It's not brand new creamy like it just got manufactured, but it's still plenty creamy. There's nothing wrong with this paint. But you don't want to break all your seals. That's what keeps it the freshest the longest, is having a seal on it. And they give you a nice full jar. Look at that. It's almost ready to overflow the sides. I'm just trying to mix all the paint together so that you don't get a bunch of oil in one mixing, and then the next time there's no oil left because you got it all out the first time. It does have oil in it. I don't know what kind of oil it is. It could be similar to Exodus oil, but it's just not enough in my opinion. Okay, so now I'm going to use another throwaway brush. These are very cheap, so you don't have to worry about your wasting them. And I'm going to get me a hefty amount of this. I'm going to try to mix this 4-ounce jar. We should be trying to mix half of it, which is 2 ounces. But I'm just going to have to turn around and mix it again. Oh, yeah, I need to put I'll put my thinning medium next. We need to put our paint before we put our thinning medium, because we need to try to liquefy as much of this paint as we can in the Exodus oil. It helps to liquefy it a little better if you... it's almost too creamy. It won't stick to the toothpick hardly. It's better to thin out this paint with the Exodus oil before you have too much stuff in the jar. Don't worry if you make it a little too dark in your spare jar, if you have a spare jar. If you're making it in your actual jar that you're using, you want to make sure you're targeted closer to the color that you're going to actually use. But if I mix this a little too dark, that's okay, because I can just pour half of it in my other jar and cut it a little with the paint thinner. But if you make it in your actual jar that you're going to paint from, you got to be more targeted with your color, because if you don't, you'll have paint that's too dark or too light, depending on which way it went. Okay, I'm just going to stick that back in there. I don't know what to do with it. I'm going to mix this around. This is not going to be enough, I don't think, to make a whole jar and it not be too light. But I just want to mix it a little before I start. I'm just going to get it with the paintbrush. It's a little bit easier. That might be enough. I don't know. Like I said, you don't have to mix a complete whole jar. I like to do it. And I don't mind if it's a little dark, because I'm going to be cutting it probably as I'm putting it into my other jar. I have a whole jar of this right now that I just poured in. Now we're going to put some of this. It's a little faster to just pour it, but I tend to get too much when I do that. There's an amount that you should get, and the rest of it's just waste. And while I like to use a lot of it, I don't want to use too much. That should be enough right there. I just eyeball it. I don't try to measure it or anything. And then we're going to mix it some more. What we're trying to do is just make sure there's no lumps or granules. I don't see any. This is super creamy paint, so no granules. Now, you could leave it like this in this jar, but I like to go on and cut it. It's closer to the right color that way. We just put a little at a time, and we mix it up. This is too dark. It looks too dark to me anyway. And there's too much paint stuck in this paintbrush for me to test it. See how dark it is? It's real dark compared to that color right there. So that's really the color we want right there. But that's after the paint thinner has all evaporated out. And this is going to do the same thing in a moment or two. But I can already tell it's too dark. So we're just going to put a little more paint thinner in there. And we're going to just mix it up. I have made batches of this that were very light, and other batches, see, that's much lighter. Because, see, the paint thinner's leaching away a lot faster because there's a lot more of it. and it's leaving behind the color. This one is very concentrated. It's very dark and brown. It's still dark, but this can easily take a full jar of paint thinner. Now that's probably a little closer. Yeah. See, it's much, much lighter now. This is going to be way close to that color when it's dry. So that's good. We're going to leave that alone, and we're going to let it be. Now these jars seal pretty good. You don't have to worry about, now if you dropped it, you might spill some, but you don't have to worry about if it just tips over or you're shaking it up, that a lot of paint's going to splash out or anything. But one thing you do have to worry about on these jars, if any of the thinning medium or the varnish got on the outside of the jar, they're kind of slippery. That's better. So I'll put this down here at the bottom. I have this rack over here that's 3 tiers. And it's very helpful because you can store your paint 3 high instead of just, before I was crowding it over there on the table, and I was stacking it on top of each other, but the problem with doing that is you have to move a lot of jars to get to the jar you want. This way you don't, because they're on shelves, 3-tier shelves. I wish my garbage can was a little closer. I still have shelf boards that have not been put up yet, and one of them was over the top of the garbage can. My son just brought them in big, tall stacks. He's strong enough to carry almost all the boards at one time. He carried like 8 to 10 boards. They're like 1 by 12s. He carried that many at one time. I've seen him pick up an entire cedar chest, and I'm not talking about a little one. I'm talking about a big one. By himself. Just pick it up and carry it. He's real, real skinny and real, real tall. But he is strong as an ox, and I am not playing. Well, there was a warm, oh, that's ethnic. I'm going to send that to them, too. It's different. I'll make sure they know it's different. That ethnic. Oh, blush is next. So, no, 05 is next. Here we go. I got plenty of 05. I think I'm going to send this Genesis to my winners, and I'm just going to put a lot of this in here. Of all the paints that I have, the 05 seems to be the one that gets the most granules in it. I don't know why. And it doesn't make any difference what brand it is. Get me a new paper towel. That one had too much paint on it. Oh, my sister's up now. Hi.
I know I heard talking.
Well, I thought you told me you couldn't hear it back there. That is what you said. Here's a Flesh 05. Here's a Flesh 05 that's Gemini.
4 a.m.
Oh, I would have been up since 2 a.m.
Really?
Yes, and I've been doing this too the whole time. Vein blue. I need to keep these separated. There we go. Vein blue. Let's see. Genesis. I may have to use Genesis. I don't think I have any. Huh. That's weird. I guess I don't have any. Oh, here's plenty of it. See, I've laid out a bunch of things. Here's Flesh 05. There's Flesh 05. That's Flesh 05. Flesh 05. And ethnic and ethnic. I'll be sending them ethnics to my people too. What are these? Creases. They're going to get creases. They're going to get Flesh 05. They're going to get that color that I mixed up. And I don't know what else. They're going to get something else. Anyway, let's see if any of these are open. That one's not. That one's not. I can tell because the seal keeps the lid from coming off easily. This one is not. And this one is not. None of these are open. Oh, how weird. I must have used up the last one I had. Sometimes I do that. I use it up and then I don't remember that I used it up. And I need to open a new one, but I'm thinking I still have one open. And I'm doing that right now. Ugh. Okay. use a lot of toothpicks when you mix paint. Oh, we've been going 49 minutes already. It does take a while to mix paint, but if you do it like I do it, now if my jar that I use from is also empty, I'll make both of them at the same time. I'll make the jar I use, and then I'll make a spare jar, so I don't have to do it for a long time. I make a lot of dolls. If you're only making, let's say, $1 a month or something, you don't need to mix this much paint. It's just something you have to store, you know. It's a lot easier to store this tiny little paint thing than to have to store a great big one that with paint thinner and everything in it. So if you're not just making lots of dolls, there's just no need to. Okay, here we go. I'm going to be putting a few little blobs of this in here. Once again, if you make it too dark in this jar, this is my spare jar, as I pour it into my other jar, I can dilute it with some more paint thinner. So it's not that big of a deal. I don't usually even measure my paint at all. I just eyeball it. I go, that's enough, you know. So. Anyway, we're going to just keep mixing this around until we think it's nice and creamy and thin, and we can't see any lumps or bumps or granules or anything. And we're there already. This is very new, creamy paint. So I'm going to be adding some thinning medium now. And now I'm going to add, it's already very, very creamy. I don't need to mix it anymore. I'm going to add some of this now. I'm pretty sure it's going to take a whole thing. The only reason to add your paint thinner slowly is if you don't need a whole jar of it. If you mix it too thin, then you're going to have to go back and put more paint in it. And it's a lot harder to mix the paint in if you have a jar full of paint thinner already in there. The little lumps of paint just move around inside there. That's why I mix it so thoroughly before I ever put any paint thinner in it. There we go. That looks good. And I'm just going to put the lid on it and put it over here on my shelf. These can all be vamped up or watered down if they need to be. Now it's the red. That's the hardest color to mix. I'm also going to be mixing some aquamarine blue. Let's see. It's ultramarine blue, not aquamarine. Ultramarine blue. Sorry about that. Okay, this 04. These 05s. I'm going to split these things up with my people who are getting a box from me. Some of these things I just don't need anymore. I have a brown. I never use brown. It's brow brown. It's for making eyebrows or hair. I don't paint hair. I have burnt umber. I never use that. Let's see. I have 03. I have 02. I have another burnt umber. And these are, there's an 04. I don't use those. I bought them because I was going to try to make some ethnic dolls, and they just turned out so crappy looking that I just didn't want to use them. Let's see. I've got this lip nail blush. I've got Pyro Red. Those are siennas. I've got some more colors of red too. I've got this. This is my favorite one. Quinacridone Crimson #1. It's a very deep red. And I like it, but it's a little too the wrong color. I don't know what color you call it, but it's just wrong. I'm going to get a big jar for this. I don't see any point in mixing a little jar of red. It's the color I use the very, very most. I might even mix 2 of them. Yes, 2 of them. This one had, these have residue in them. Residue doesn't hurt your paint. It's so little bit of it that it's just not going to hurt anything. It doesn't even matter what color it was. This was red. This one was something else, I think. It was, I don't know, I can't tell. I don't know what color it was. It's just something in there. I don't know what it is. We're going to start with our Exodus oil. And there's a good chance these 2 jars that I'm mixing at the exact same time will come out different colors. Because, well, you're just never going to get it the same every single time. Let's see what this is. This is, oh, this is the scratch medium that I made. I made it with thick. I just put some of this in some thick medium and made it very, very, very thick indeed. And, oops, let me get rid of that before I put my arm down on it. I may have already done it. Ugh, I think I did. I'm just going to ruin all my clothes. I just know it. Don't wear nice clothes of any sort. Not that these are nice, but I'm just saying, if you wear nice clothes at home and stuff, don't wear nice clothes while you're reborn in dolls. You're just going to ruin them. Okay, now this color, I tend to have to mix other colors with it, so I may use some of this Pyro Red number 2. I don't think I've used any of this yet. Well, it's open, but it's open because there's the seal in the top. The seal just wasn't sealed down good. I'm going to mix it because I don't really know how good this color is. I don't know if it's any good. I've not used it. It's very, very deeply red. It may be the color I want. It may be the closest to, look at that, that's a very good color. But it has that magenta look to it. Magenta's an old term. People don't say magenta anymore. They use some other color for it. So it tends to make me believe that it's not going to be the right color when it's mixed. See, even in the lid, you can see where the residue is in the lid. You can see it has that different color, this underlying weird color that on the surface it looks like it might be the right color. And it does look promising when you put it in the Exodus oil even. That looks very promising. But all the colors that I've used out of Gemini, no matter how dark they looked, they came out to a funky pink color. And I don't like that. I can't use that again. I'm going to put a good little drop of this in here. See, you'll never get the same amount in this other jar. I don't measure, so it's just not productive to measure. You just waste too much paint trying to put it in the measuring spoons. I just blob a blob in. This is very pink. You can already tell it's turning pink. I'll put another blob in. This is another one of those colors you can tone it down a bit whenever you get to the jar you're going to pour it in to use it. Or you could use it out of this jar if it's the right color. If you like the color, I tend to get way too much paint in these jars trying to mix the color correctly. I tend to not mix it very well. This is the ultramarine blue. Now I bought this especially, oh, good grief. See, this is what the seal does. It makes it hard to get the lid off. And this one's crooked. This lid's on crooked. It's coming off crooked because I don't know why. I just can't get it off. Now that's just not good. Oh, this is not good at all. I need something to grip it with. Where did I do my paper towel? Oh, it's on the floor. I need one of those jar grippers. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about. They used to make these jar grippers that you could get a lid off of a jar. It would help you hold onto the lid better. This lid is not on exactly straight. So whoever put it on so crooked has made it where you can't hardly get it off. I may not can get it off. The jar just slips around in your hands. I guess I could break the lid. I don't know. This is beginning to stress me. Already, I get stressed easily. I can tell it's crooked. I gotta have water. I always crush them water bottles a little bit so they fit in the garbage can a little better. There is no way that's coming off. That is not coming off. It is on there so crooked. I'm pretty sure a machine put it on, so the machine is stronger than me. I might could get a man to get it off, but you can tell one side actually touches the jar when the lid's down and the other side's up a little, so it's crooked. If I knew how to straighten it out, I absolutely would do it. If I just keep doing it, I think maybe it'll come off a little bit straighter. But it's just not doing that. It's the seal is too big or something. You know, sometimes those seals stick over the side of the actual lid a little bit, and that's what makes it hard to get them off. But never this hard. Never had this much trouble. That's just unfortunate. I wanted to use this. Well, it's time to get out a tool. I'm gonna cut the lid if I can. Here's my tools. And I'm looking for my little nippers. Here they are. I am going to cut this lid if I can get it under the edge. If I cut it, maybe it'll at least get a nick in it here and there. Maybe it'll come on off. I don't know. The threads are not going evenly over the threads of the lid and the threads of the jar are not lining up properly because the lid's on crooked. So I'm gonna have to find a new lid for this jar now. I'll just get one off one of these empty jars. I think they all have about the same size lid. But these are some of the struggles you may face while you're reborning dolls. You may not be able to get your paint open. Let's see if that helped any. Not yet. Did go up a little further, but that's all, just a little. Oh crap. I'm more trying to, there we go. Look at that. I got it off, y'all. This lid, this is the piece that's supposed to stay in the lid. It was down. It wasn't inside the lid anymore. Sometimes those things, I don't know why I put it back in there. That lid's not going to be any good, I don't think. Ugh, I just needed to use this so desperately bad. This is basically brand new. I just bought it when the paint went on sale 40% off. See, this is very blue. It's not a teal color at all. It's very, very blue. So I think just putting, now you don't need much at all of the blue to make your paint the right color. All we want to do is get away from this Barbie pink color almost. It's not quite Barbie pink, but it's very pink. That's all we want to do is get away from the pink. This is too much. What's on this toothpick? We only need a tiny bit. And I'm going to get as much of this off of this toothpick as I can. And I'm going to try just this tiny little amount right here to make it just a bit darker. We just want it to be more of a blood color. And if you're not getting that color, it's possible you're using the wrong color of red. I've tried the lip nail blush. It just doesn't do it for me. And I've also tried the ethnic lip nail blush. And this is my new try, and this is looking very promising. I'm liking this color. It needs a little more blue. I can't put that same toothpick back in there because, well, had red on it from me swiping it with this paintbrush. I need to first break up all these clots of blue that's in here and make sure it's thoroughly mixed before I even decide to put some more. It still has a pinkish hue to it. Sometimes adding a little more of another color like the Ethnic Lip Nail Blush can help because it's a browner color. And brown is a combination of a lot of colors already. You don't have to mix so much into it. I hate having to mix colors like this. If this one works out, though, I'm going to mix another jar of it. This is starting to look very promising. Where's that Ethnic Lip Nail Blush? It's a sort of brownish red, burnt umber. I've actually put a little actual burnt umber or something in it before too, but one of these is open. Probably this one because it's got paint on the lid. Yes, this one. That's creases. I started to say that is way too purple for Ethnic Lip Nail Blush. Let's see. This is it. Yep. This one's open, but it doesn't look... The seal is broken on that one, too. The seal is in the lid. That one hasn't been used out of yet. I have another one here somewhere. This is it. Yeah, this one's been used out of. So I'm just going to put a little blob of that in there because it's a brownie color, and it will bring it a little more to the color that I want. This is almost close to warm blush, almost. Because ethnic babies are dark anyway. See, I'm just putting blob after blob after blob of color in here. It's going to be very, very, very too dark. So that when it's time to actually start putting it, oh, that does wonders. We'll be keeping that Ethnic Lip Nail Blush, I think. That is much better. When it's time to, what was I going to say? When it's time to put the paint thinner in here, this is going to be so thick. But I can water it down, and when I say water, I mean paint thinner. I can change the consistency as I'm using it. Just pour a portion of it into my other jar and cut it a little bit more. That's looking very, very promising. It's not so pinky looking now. So what I've put in here so far is Pyro Red number 2, I believe it is. Let me look at this jar. Yes, number 2. And a tiny drop of ultramarine blue, and then a couple of blobs of Ethnic Lip Nail Blush. And it's looking very promising to be the right color. It's still a little pink. I don't care what you do to it, it's going to be a little pink. Now in my second jar over here, and I may end up mixing these 2 jars together by pouring them into half of it into a third jar, half of each one into a third jar, I don't know yet. I'm going to start with the Ethnic Lip Nail Blush in this one because, well, we don't know how this one's going to come out yet. Let me put a little paint thinner in it. It's looking very promising, though. It's looking like it could actually be a color that you could use. I'm going to run out of paint thinner. Yeah, see, it's not turning pink or purple, either one. It's staying red. And when you put it on your paper towel, it is gorgeous. Look at that. That's a beautiful color of red. It's probably too dark. I don't know for sure. But I'm not going to cut it anymore because I'm just not sure if it needs to be cut anymore. I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to take this paintbrush and I'm going to use it to mix a second jar because I like that color. That is awesome. So Pyro Red, mostly that. A couple of small blobs of Ethnic Lip Nail Blush, and a tiny, tiny bit of ultramarine blue. So this time I'm going to start with my Ethnic Lip Nail Blush. I'm going to be keeping this, I've decided. I was going to give it away, but I'm going to keep it now. We're going to put this in first. That should be enough right there. This won't be exactly like the other one, but it will be close. You know, it's hard to get something exact. Even if you're doing it side by side and you're trying to actually put the exact same amount, you won't. And that's why I say you'll never have the same color twice. See, this is very brown. It's too dark for a non-ethnic baby's lips. But because ethnic babies are darker already, the paint has to be darker or it won't show at all. The regular lip nail blush just wouldn't show up on the baby, and it would be the wrong color anyway. So that's really, really good right there already. I'm liking that color. I don't know. But see, it's way too brown. It's just brown. Now, when we start to put this, when we start to put this one together, I'm going to be using this water first, this paint thinner first. Now I'm gonna put a couple blobs of this in there. That's a big blob right there. But I'm gonna put a little bit more on these spare jars, and I recommend making a spare jar of paint. You don't have to worry about if you're getting it too dark, because as you're going to start using it, you're going to pour it in your other jar, and you're going to be able to cut it a little more if you need to. So you don't have to worry about, oh, it's way too dark. Not at this point, you don't need to. So you just mix it up and get the color right. The color is more important than how dark it is. When the color's right, you're gonna know it. And we don't need much of the blue at all, just a tiny bit. And that's only to take some of this pinkish color out. This one doesn't seem to have any pinkish color. It's very good. I like this color. I think I'm gonna leave out the blue. Sometimes I mix differently like this, and I don't always like it, but sometimes I do. And then I'll decide, oh, they're sort of not exactly right, either one of them. So I'll mix them together. So I'm gonna leave the blue out of this one because it's looking so good in this jar right now. I'm gonna learn to mix lip nail blush one day. I mean, just know what to put in it. I've been experimenting every time I mix it with different colors and combinations of colors, but I'm liking this Pyro Red a lot. Whenever, I'm pretty sure that I don't have any money anyway for paint right now, but I'm pretty sure they're 40%, 20 to 40% sales going off today, and I won't be able to get more paint. I love this color. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to try it on the paper towel as soon as I get a little more of it out of this paintbrush. Oh, I was going to use this, wasn't I? Yes, this is a way to keep your paint thinner that you clean your brushes with fresh. You just use it. It doesn't matter what color was in it unless it's, and now if it was predominantly yellow or something, you wouldn't want to put it in red paint, but this one was predominantly red, so it doesn't hurt a thing to put it in red paint. All we did was swish our paintbrush in it that we used to put the lip nails blush on, so it's really the right color red and everything. Oh, that is lovely. It is too dark though. I think I found the way I want to mix my paint. I knew that eventually I would come across the proper way to mix this paint, that it was going to be something to do with combinations of colors that, and whether they were too pink or not. And if you mix only Pyro Red and ethnic lip nail blush, you get a redder color. This looks way close to the Genesis color to me. Way better than that first jar. So now I have 2 jars of that. Now let's see, what else do I want to mix? I really don't know. I've mixed just about every color that I use. I didn't mix any creases. Purple. It's purple. I don't use creases really. I use eyelid purple. And it looks like I don't have any, because why didn't I find it when I was looking through the paints? Let me look in this jar, in this container. Nope, it's empty. I don't have any purple. The creases is a little too red for me for what I want to use it for. I like to use the purple for shadowing, and the creases is almost a purpley red color. It's too dark. It's too purpley. I mean, reddish. It's purpley reddish. And I don't like that color for shadowing. I like the eyelid purple better. I'm going to have to order eyelid purple. I can't mix that one today. Which is okay. I don't use much of that either. And I have some. Let's see if this lid will work now. Nope, it's not going to go on straight no matter what you do. This is a wonky lid. I'm just going to throw that lid away. Let me see. I'll take this lid off of here. This one that's thinning medium. Oh, that's got some thinning medium in it. I mean, it really does. That one has too much thinning medium in it for me to use that lid. That's going to go right in my paint, not right in mixed paint. Let's see this one. I need one that's better. I need one that doesn't have. There, that goes right on. Very good. Okay, so we'll throw this one away because now it doesn't have a lid. Well, that lid goes right on that one. Huh, I don't know. Maybe I'll send it. Okay, now where's the jar of ethnic lip nail blush that I was using? This is the lid to it. Did I throw it out? What did I do with it? Am I blind? Do y'all see it on my table? I could just be blind. I'm acting like a blind person, aren't I? Well, if I put it in this garbage can, it fell to the bottom. Ugh. Shoot, that stinks. I need to tie it up and take it out. I don't see it anywhere. Well, that beats all I ever heard. I didn't use it all. I know I didn't. I remember it sitting here. Did I put a different lid on it? That's regular lip nail blush. I would have just done it. That's Spain Blue. These are 05. I just don't know what I've done. Burnt umber. This is crazy. I'm a crazy person. Y'all, I'm just nutty. That's what I am. I don't know what I've done with it. If I put it up without a lid on it, I'm stupid. I may be stupid anyway. Let's see. What's this one say? Flash colors. Well, that beats all I ever heard. These are yellows. Okay. These are warm blush. Yep, all these are warm blush. Warm, warm, warm. Okay. These are Vein Blue. I should put that ultramarine blue in there too. Where'd I put it? Well, there's an ethnic lip nail blush. Flash 04. Brow Brown. Lip nail blush. Burnt umber. Creases. Creases. Burnt umber. Ultra blue. I don't know what I did with that jar. I must have thrown it away. What am I, just an idiot? I must be an idiot. Here's the lid. But where's the paint? That beats all I ever heard. Huh, okay. I'm going to the dark side of the moon with my craziness here. Reds. Pyro red. This one won't fit, I don't think. Nope, it won't. Ethnic lip nail blush. Where's that quinidine stuff? I have two of them. This is one of them. I have a small one too. Oh, this is just distressing me so terribly. That's that thick stuff. Okay, flash, brown, flash, 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 umber, flash, flash, burnt umber, flash, flash, regular lip nail blush, creases, creases, flash. Okay. I don't know where that little quinquinidine, I don't know how to say that. I don't know where it is either. I have a little small one like this. Oh, I'm just stressed right now. I might just have it in another compartment that says colors. Mars black, titanium white. Varnish. No, that's thick, medium, and stuff like that. What's this one? Flash colors. Okay. Yep. Well, I'm crazy. It's official. I'm a crazy person. Let's see these reds. Ethnic. Pyro. I'm going to be getting some more of that Pyro red. I didn't know it was such a good color. I don't have it anymore. I don't know what I've done with it, but I'm just a crazy person. Oh, y'all excuse me for being a crazy person. I just don't know what I did with it. Maybe if one of y'all saw what I did with it, you can just tell me to ease my mind. I'm not digging through the garbage to get it out, but if it's in there, I can quit looking for it. But anyway, I'm going to be putting, let me see if I can't clean this mess up a little. Oh, it's so messy to mix paint. I just hate doing it. But now it's done, and I don't have to do it for a while, and I just can't imagine what I did with that paint. I didn't put it in my tools because I'd be able to see it in here. These are just tools. I don't know. I'll find it in some crazy place probably that I left it in. Anyway, let's get this lid back on this. I'm going to be putting this one up here on my shelf because it's open. And these three are going to go, well, these three are empty. I didn't even mix anything in them. I meant to mix more paint than I did. I'm going to go off of this color in favor of the Pyro red. This one's a little purpley, but I thought when I was putting the blue in it, it was coming out okay. But this is it. You can tell it's slightly purpley colored. While this one that I just mixed is extremely red. Compared to this one, they don't even look like the same color. But it's okay. I'm going to finish using this one. I'm not throwing it out or anything. Well, oh, this is stressful. I'm easily stressed, though. Y'all just excuse me for being so easily stressed. Trying to get these colors up off the table and up on this nice little rack I bought just for colors. There we go. Now I'm going to save these jars also, and I'm going to clean up my table. And these paints right here are the ones I'm going to be giving away to my people that won the contest. It's not really a contest. All they had to do was be the first one that said I won it, and they were, so they get it. But I don't even know these people, so there was no favoritism at all involved. I don't do that anyway. When I do a contest, I do it honestly as a contest, and I want everybody to be able to participate equally, and I guess it's a reward for watching my videos quicker than anybody else. I don't know. I just didn't know any way to do it. Drawing names and stuff like that, it just doesn't work because people just don't give you the right information to do it. I tried to do a drawing for a doll one time, and everybody said, oh, put my name in, but they didn't tell me what their name was. They just had a username, that was it. And there was no names. I said, okay, if you want to be in the contest, you need to say, you know, go to my Facebook page, where it's private, where you don't have to just put your name out there for everybody in the world to see, and you need to put your name there and your username so I can look you up and make sure you are a subscriber, because this contest is for my subscribers. I want it just in the comments, and I couldn't verify they were even a subscriber, so I couldn't do it. I got like 3 names, and you can't have a drawing with 3 names. Anyway, oh, I'm keeping that one. I'm not giving that one away. Anyway, the people who are getting my boxes, they're each going to get a burnt umber. I just don't use that color. I'm going to split up these ethnic colors where they can each get a couple ethnic colors. 02, 03, and 04. I don't know how I'm going to split them up. Let's see, there's 2 fleshes for that person. Here's 2 fleshes for that person. Okay, somebody's getting an extra flesh, so they'll get, let's give them 03. We'll give this person 02 and 04. Here's a lip nail blush for this person. Creases. Oh, here's an 04 also. That person can get that one, and this person can get brown. I don't know who's getting which one. I'm not going to pay any attention to which one is in which box. I'm just going to put them in boxes. They're also going to get at least 1 or 2 of these little pipettes. They're really nice, and they work really well. They're the medical grade ones, and they hold a lot in this little straw part here, and you just pinch the bulb, stick it down in there and suck it up, take it out. If you can use these with air dry for your water that you put in there, or you can use it in your heat set. What I use it for is to siphon off some, like if I wanted to make a new color and I wanted to siphon some out of one of these jars, I just shake it up and siphon some out and put it in a new jar, and then siphon some out of the other jar and put it in and mix a color. That's what I use them for, and I have one in each color of my paintbrushes up here, so I don't have to wash them either. They're a booger to wash, especially this red one. It gets very red colored and you can't get it out, so I just don't wash it. I just use it for only red, and it doesn't matter that much if it's a different color red. All that matters is that you don't put it in a blue or a green or a yellow or something, and they're going to get that. And then I'm going to give them a variety of these little belly plates that I have over here. They're going to probably get a couple, at least 3. I don't really know. I want to get rid of these things. I just have so many of them, and I don't use them. And they're going to get paint brushes. I have a pile of paint brushes. They're almost all of them have been used, so they'll need to wash them. They're also going to get a kit each. I'm just going to pull out a kit from the closet. I'm not even going to look at what the name is on the kit or nothing. I'm just going to pull it out and put it in the box. And so it's random. It's going to be super random. I don't want anybody to say, well, you picked a crappy kit or something like that. I don't think any of them are crappy. Some of them are better than others, but they're not crappy. But I'm just going to pull one out, and that's the one it's going to be. Whatever, I just close my eyes, pull out a bag, whoever it is, that's what it is. And they'll also get, I don't know what else. I don't think I have any bodies that I can spare to send. Bodies are difficult to come by for me. They're expensive, and I never have enough. I could possibly send them some eyes, I guess. I have lots of eyes. I'm going to go to the closet and pull out 1 or 2 outfits, depending on what I can find in there. Almost all of my outfits are already on dolls. I'm about to have to undress some dolls and put a onesie on them so I can have some outfits to photograph the dolls in. And so I don't have much to send, so that's just a warning. There'll be something in there, it just won't be the highest of beautifulest, nicest one you can buy or something, because I just don't have any left. And let's see, what else can I put in there? If y'all got any suggestions of things that I could think, I just can't think. Maybe some pencils. Yeah, I've got some pencils that I don't use. They might like the colors. If they don't, I'm just asking everybody that gets a box from me of any sort. I do send boxes out to people sometimes that I already know because I think they can use the items. Like I just sent somebody all my air dry paint that I've been corresponding with because I know she does air dry and I knew she'd probably use it. But I did ask her if there was anything in the box, like a color or a brand that she didn't like, just to pass it on to another artist. And that's what I'm asking these people as well. If you don't like the kit and you don't want to make it, pass it on to another artist. Just find somebody, put it in a box and mail it to them, and somebody will appreciate getting a kit that they can practice on. Even if you don't use it for a doll, you could use it as a practice kit. My goal here is just to help out struggling beginners who are having trouble getting everything they need, or they just could use a little boost or something like that to get going better. And that's what this is designed for, is to do that. It's not meant by any means to supply you with everything you need. So just keep that in mind as you're opening your box. The items are random. They're leftovers. They're not the best, highest quality of everything. They're just not going to be that. They're going to be mostly leftover things that I choose not to use, or I couldn't find a way to use it, or something like that. I may send, I have some, a lot still of that Pratt matte varnish. It works. I just like the Gemini better. So I may send some of that. It basically works the same. You just pour it into a jar and cut it a little bit with thinning medium and a little bit with, just a little bit. You cut it a little bit. You don't cut it a whole lot. This is not the same as the Gemini. It's thinner already, so you just cut it a bit. You just pour it in a jar, put a little bit of thinning medium in it, and put a little bit of paint thinner in it. And it's ready to go. You just put it on your dolls. It could be a slightly globby, but I don't think it is. I think it's very smooth. I've been using it for a long time, and I just like the Gemini better. So that's the only reason I use it. I was going to save it in case I ran out of Gemini and I wanted to go back to it. Or I wanted to make a very, very smooth doll. But don't expect to be able to write on your doll other than maybe some eyebrows or something. You could scratch on some eyebrows on any doll, even one that's not sealed at all. But if you want to make hair that looks any good at all, you're not going to want to use this very, very smooth sealer, because it won't let you, you can paint hair on or root hair, but you just can't pencil it on with this sealer. But it's still plenty good sealer for, like, I used to do this all the time. I would just seal the head with the Gemini, and the arms and the legs I would seal with the Pratt because I had so much of it. But then I just somehow went away from doing that. I still have some in a jar up here of the Pratt. Well, I think I do. I moved it, I think, off my rack because I don't use it. Had some in a jar, but all I have is the Gemini up there now. But it's still plenty good, and you can still use it. It's just not as good as, I don't think it's as good as the Gemini. I like the Gemini better. It puts a slight texture on your doll. I don't use it straight because it puts too hard of a texture on it. And it works just fine if you cut it down a little. So I do that. I cut it down a little with some thinning medium and some paint thinner. But anyway, that's enough talking about the boxes. It's just going to be random items. And as soon as I get the boxes packed up, get everything together. I don't even have boxes right now. I have to get boxes. And I try not to buy boxes because, well, they're just so expensive to buy. But I may have to go to Walmart and buy 2 medium-sized, or medium, I think medium's the size I'll need, boxes just to pack this stuff in. And if I have to do that, I have to wait till I can go out. They don't deliver boxes because they don't even know if they're going to have them in stock. So I can't use the priority boxes because it's going to be too much to mail them. It's already going to be enough to mail them, like probably $10 to $15 a box. But if you use the priority boxes, it's like $25 to $28 to mail them. That's too much. Yeah, I'm going to get the box, everything put together first. Then I'll pack the boxes. Then I'll seal them up and everything and print the labels. And I'll just have to wait till I have the money to mail them because I just don't have it right now. I am beyond broke. I actually use Chime for my bank. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of it. It's just you can go to Walmart and buy a Chime card. I mean, no, you can't. That's something else. That's Green Dot. You just go on, you download Chime. It's an app. And it's a real bank. They just don't have a physical bank for you to walk into. It's a subsidiary of Stride Bank, which used to be called Bancorp South, if you've ever heard of it. But anyway, you just download the Chime app, and you just once you download it, they give you a routing number and an account number. They give you two, actually. They give you one that matches the physical card you're going to get in the mail, and they give you one that they call a virtual card. So you could feasibly use your virtual card just online and stuff. So in case there's some kind of fraud on it, you're not locking up your actual physical card. And you can lock these cards anytime you want to. It's a fabulous way to bank, I think. And you get your check. If you get direct deposit, you'll get your check up to 2 days early. As soon as they get it, they give it to you. They don't wait till, like, I get my Social Security check. Instead of getting it on the 3rd, I get it on the 28th or the 29th or the 30th, depending on what day of the week it falls on. But if you're going to do it, and you don't already know somebody who banks with Chime, ask me for a link. I'll send you a link. And with your first direct deposit that hits the bank, you'll get $100. I'll get $100 as a bonus for using a link or something. Now, if you know somebody that already does Chime, let them send you a link because, well, they're your friend or your family member and you want to give them the $100. But if you don't know anybody else, I can send you a link. And it'll take you to and if you use the link to sign up, as soon as your first direct deposit hits the bank, and if it's within 45 days of when you sign up, then you'll get $100 and I will get $100. It's a great deal. Once in a great while, they actually give you like $125 or something, but that's just rare. But and I don't know that many people that at all, much less people that are willing to change banks. A lot of people are going, I don't want to do that. That don't seem real, but it is. It's very real and it's very good. And they also have this thing called overdraft protection. They call it, they don't call it oops. I call it oops. Oops, I don't have enough money for that. Spot me. They call it Spot Me. And they'll start you out with $20 or something like that on Spot Me. So if you're getting down to the wire and it's almost payday and you need some eggs and bread or something, you can overdraft and no fee at all, no consequence at all. And they also have something called MyPay, but you have to sort of be in Chime for a while before, and they have to see you're consistently getting direct deposits, and then you can actually pick a day. Like the MyPay starts out at the beginning of the month, it might be $40, and each day that passes, it gets a little higher and a little higher, and it can go up to $500. It's like picking the day you want to get paid. Like I want to get paid today, even though I don't get paid till Friday, and then as soon as your direct deposit hits, they take the money back, and so you got to get your check even earlier that way. That's another big bonus. They also have a credit card you can get, but it is prepaid. But what it does is it'll build towards your credit. If you don't have a fantastic credit score like I don't, it has bumped up my credit score quite a number of points since I've been using it. You just allot a certain portion of your check. Say you want 10% to go to the credit card and 90% to go to the regular checking account. And then you can use that credit card money to buy things too. And they send you a separate little card for that. And it's just like any other credit card, except you paid the bill first. And it shows you paid on time. It builds a record that you're using credit responsibly, and it'll bump up your score over time. It might take 2 or 3 months, but you'll get a message that'll say, "Oh, your credit score went up. Check it out." And you just use the link they send you, and you go and you can check out your credit score that it's higher now, and it can really bump you up over time. It might only be 5 or 10 points at first, but after a while it's 20 points or something, And I just think Chime is a wonderful bank, a wonderful way to bank. If you want to put money in, like cash, you can go to Walgreens or Walmart. Walmart charges a fee, Walgreens does not. You can go to Walgreens, just go up to the counter where the lady's checking people out and say, "I want to deposit this money on my Chime account." She'll go, "Okay." And you stick your card in the little machine just like you do if you're making a purchase. You tell her how much money. And before you even leave the store, you're getting a text message that says, "Oh, you just deposited X amount of money." And then also the same thing with withdrawing money. Walgreens has an ATM that you can withdraw for free from. And if you go in Walgreens to withdraw your money from an ATM, you don't pay any fee on it. But if you go to anywhere else, it's the same fee as you'd pay for any other, debit card that you're trying to withdraw off of. And if you like at Walmart, I don't know if you know this, if you have a credit card or a debit card, I don't know about if credit cards do this. You can buy a pack of gum and get $100 back on your debit card in cash back. But if you use a Chime card, there's a small fee, like it would be if you used an ATM. But most other debit cards, it's no fee at all. You can get $20, $40, it's in increments of 20, 40, 60, 80, up to 100 at Walmart. And just by buying a candy bar or a pack of gum or something. You do have to buy something, but you don't have to buy anything expensive. And that's what I do when I want cash. I just go in Walmart, I buy a pack of gum, and I get me some cash. But I don't usually use cash. I'm trying to put all my cash in. Walmart charges to put cash on your card, too. $4 and something, I think. It's not high. But that's Walmart charging you, not Chime. Like I said, if you go in to Walgreens, there's no charge. I think Walgreens is the subscribed place that they tell you can get free fees from. No fees if you use Walgreens. But anyway, if you want to do it, it's a great way to bank. It really, really is. And you don't have to deal with those. You don't have to deal with charges for a statement, overdraft fees, buying checks. I don't even use checks anymore. I just use my card. And I pay with my card, and it's very, very convenient, and I just like doing it so much better than I did when I was using a physical bank. They don't require you to do a whole lot of things to even get the account. I think you have to send them a copy of your driver's license. I'm not sure if you have to do that or not. But you do have to do something to verify you are really a person and you're not using a fictitious name. I don't really remember what you had to do. I've been doing it for a couple of years now, and I just don't remember what I had to do. But it is a great way to bank. And like I said, if you don't have anybody that can send you a link, I will send you a link. And then we'll both get $100 as soon as you get a direct deposit. And it'll just say, "Oh, here's your $100, and it's just, boom, it's in your account. I've done it for several people, and somebody did it for me when I joined Chime. So I got $100 for each one of them times. I think you can do it up to 10 times. I'm not sure. I've only done it a couple times. So I got plenty more room for plenty more people. And even if I don't get the $100, if I've used up my quota, I'll still send you the link, and you can get $100. I would be over the limit, so I wouldn't get mine, but you could still get yours. And just think about it, because it's a great way to bank. And with all the choices you get with Chime, it's way better than a regular bank. And anyway, that's enough talking. I long since had Blake finished, or whatever I was doing. Oh yeah, paint mix. We did Blake in the last video. this video was long since been finished mixing paint, but I hope you got a good idea of how to mix paint. It's not super hard, but there is a little learning curve. Excuse me, I have hiccups again. There is a learning curve to it, so you do have to sort of get the hang of it. But it's not that hard, as you saw. Like I said, if you mix in a separate jar than the one you use to paint out of, I got the hiccups so bad. And you think the paint's too dark, you can just pour part of it in there and cut it a little more with some paint thinner. And there you go, you got it. That's why I mix a little toward the dark side instead of the light side, because I can always, I have a regular jar that I use for each color, and I pour from the spare jar into there, maybe a fourth of it or half of it, and then I use the paint thinner to then thin it a little more if I think it needs it. But it doesn't always need it. So that's why I mix that way. But anyway, I hope you got enough information on how to mix paint. I'm just going to call this one How to Mix Paint. And it's going to be the one I save for a long time for people to look at to see how to mix paint. So whenever I do a tutorial, this video, even though it's an older video by that time, will be attached to the video as the step of mixing paint. I usually do how to mix paint, how to apply sealer, and those two videos I'm going to use ones I already have, because I like to have all that done when I get started on the doll. I seal ahead of time most of the time and put them back in a bag and store them, and then they're ready to just pull out and use. So there's nothing for me to show as a video on how to put sealer on. And I didn't cover how to mix sealer. It's very, very easy. I just put the entire bottle this size of sealer in my jar, my 8-ounce jar. This is 4 ounces. Then I pour I don't know, maybe a fourth of a jar of this in there. I don't measure, I just pour some. And then I put a small amount of paint thinner in it as well to make it a little smoother than it would be if you used it straight from the jar. And it works really well. You can still draw on the doll. You can still do everything to the doll that you normally do. I highly recommend Gemini paints, other than their red. And I haven't found any competitors that had a better red. The reds are all too pink to me. Genesis was the only one that had a good red. But it's gone now, so we have to deal. I think Pyro Red's going to be my go-to red instead of the... I was liking this quinidine. I don't know how you say that. It's a weird word. I don't know how you say that. But I'm liking the Pyro better. I hadn't used it before I bought it, but I didn't use it because it looked lighter to me. But it mixes a darker red, I think. And so I'm gonna be working, I think, with the Pyro Red and the Ethnic Lip Nail and Blush. I'm not going to buy any more of the regular lip nail blush. It is way too pink. You have to do too much to it. So some people don't mind mixing colors. In fact, some people actually like mixing colors. So I'm giving off all these paints I don't use to the people who are getting the boxes so they can see if they want to use it. And the only thing I'm asking is if you don't want to use it, please pass it on to another artist. And at least somebody can use it. I hate throwing things away when somebody can use it. I hate it. That's why I'm having this giveaway to begin with. And I just decided to stick a few extra things in the box that normally I wouldn't give away, like kits and clothes and things. But I'm just sticking them in there to make the box a little better. I might put some bows and some socks. I just don't know what I'm going to put in there yet until I get ready to start filling the box up. I'm going to try to fill the box most of the way up with products and not with packing material, and just see what I can get in there. And it'd be a little bit of a lot of different things. But anyway, that's enough. We're almost up to 2 hours on this video, and that's a long, long video. But please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and happy reborning.